All right, guys, I know by now we have, or you have, watched a couple different, or maybe just one video on perimeter, okay, which is where you have to do the outline of something. And I know you probably watched the little area and perimeter song, and the reason that I had you watch that is because area and perimeter, the easiest, well, I shouldn't say the easiest, the most tricky thing about them is that people want to mix them up. Like you want to do area instead of perimeter and perimeter instead of area, and that's where people always run into trouble. You guys did really, really well when we did area and you knew it was the inside of a shape, but now we're throwing in like this perimeter thing, and I'm going to have this picture frame here for a second. You're going to see why in a minute. And what happens is once we throw perimeter into it, and that's why I didn't teach them to you at the same time, is they're really easy to mix up because they both have something to do with the shape. All right, so my cat is going to try to get in the middle of this video. No, you cannot get in the middle of the video, kitty. Okay. Okay, so I have this picture frame here because, let me move this book out of the way. This, to me, is like a good way for you to see the difference between area and perimeter. Okay, so think of a picture frame, all right? Think of a picture frame. This is the perimeter of the picture frame because it goes around the outside. So had I wanted to figure out the perimeter of this picture frame, I would add all of these sides. This glass part that you guys know goes in the middle. This is the area of my picture frame. So think of like when you think of area, the area is this part on the inside, the part that covers it. So the part where I would like take my picture and place it in, okay? That is the easiest kind of way that I can think for like a real life explanation on what area and perimeter are. Perimeter is the frame. The area is the part inside. So like, again, the area is this glass part that I put inside of it. Okay, now, I'm going to make sure my picture's not upside down. There we go. All right, we'll stick you back in there. All right. Now, on your new book, which is lesson, I'm sorry, 6 and 7, I'm on page 41, but I'm on page 41 in like the second section of the book. So this is lesson 10. So if you're having trouble finding it, it's because you're probably still maybe in like the line plotty kind of stuff. You need to go over to where lesson 10 is in the second half of your book. Okay? All right. And like I said, since you've already kind of watched a video and a little song about perimeter, you kind of have some idea. Some of you already had some idea on perimeter. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I want you to do is pause for just a second, and I'm going to show you how to do this one, and then I want you to pause it and do the rest of them. It says, number 1, trace the perimeter of the shapes below. So if you think of, again, perimeter, you trace something. If you're doing area, you color it the inside in because the area is the amount inside. I don't want the amount inside. That's the area. I want the perimeter. So if I was doing this one, this yellow is really hard to see. If I was doing the area, I would not go around the outside. I would do the middle, but I'm going to trace the perimeter. Trace the perimeter. So then your first one would look like that. So pause the video and trace the perimeter of these other 3. Okay. And I did it while you were doing it. So now your picture should look sort of like this. Now, if you use all one color for the same thing, it doesn't matter. As long as you use something that you could see, probably not your pencil. And it should look like this. So you have traced perimeter. You're going to wonder why I keep saying perimeter when I go around the outside of stuff, but it's because I know that people want to do perimeter and they think the inside. Remember, inside area. Inside's the area. Perimeter's the outside. Okay. Explain how you trace the perimeters of the shapes above. So if you were going to just explain in words, how did you know this was the perimeter? Think of all that weird annoying thing I just said. How did you know this was the perimeter? Because it went where and not the area. B, explain how you could use a string to find out which shape above has the greatest perimeter. So if you wanted to know if this perimeter around it was bigger than, say, this one, what could you do with a piece of string? Think. I gave you a piece of string, and I said, measure the perimeter of this one, and then measure the perimeter of this one, and this one, and this one. How would you know which one had more? Or I'm sorry, how much do you know which one was greater? Which perimeter around the outside was greater? Okay, and then write that answer right here. All right, and then now we're on the back, number 2. Draw a rectangle in the grid below. It does not say that this has to be any special size. I wouldn't make it like some teensy little thing. So draw a rectangle. Make it, let's see. Do this part in pencil. I know it's hard to see, but it's not going to matter in a second if it's hard to see. Okay, so there is my rectangle. A, trace the perimeter. Perimeter is the outside. Perimeter is the outside. Perimeter is the outside. Mrs. Beekman, I wish you'd quit saying that, but guess what? You might remember, because you'll think of me saying this over and over. Perimeter is the outside. Okay. B, shade the area. You notice whenever it says to do something to the perimeter, it says trace, because the perimeter, you have to trace it. Area, you have to shade it because it's everything inside. So then here, I'm going to do something else so you never forget. Okay, perimeter is the outside, and then area is inside. Area, I sound like a ghost, is inside, but you won't forget because you'll think of me being weird when you think of this on your test or on your papers in 4th grade. I couldn't see that at all. Area. Area. There you are. Okay. Area. Perimeter. Okay. C. How is the perimeter of the rectangle different from the area? Well, if you didn't figure that out from me doing that weird stuff I just did, I don't know what's going on. How is the area different than the perimeter? Perimeter is the outside. The area is the inside. I kept saying it over and over and over again. So take a second and write in your own words. It has to be a complete sentence, TTQA. How is the perimeter of that rectangle different than the area? Like, what was different about it? If you had to explain to a 2nd grader who was coming up, like, oh, you're going to learn perimeter and area, and they want to know what the difference was, what would you tell them? Think of it that way. And then write that in, and then move down here to number 3. So you might want to pause for a second when you fill this in. 3, Maya draws the shape shown below. Noah, hey Noah. Noah colors the inside of Maya's shape as shown. So she draws this. Noah colors the inside. Noah says he colored the perimeter of Maya's shape. Maya says Noah colored the area of her shape. Who is right? Explain your answer. All right, so they're having a little math argument here, Maya and Noah. Noah, stop arguing with people. All right. They're having a little math argument here, and Noah says that the perimeter is shaded in. Maya says the area is shaded in. Now, think of what I did up here. Perimeter's the something. I'm not going to say it. The area is something. I'm not going to say it. You should know by now because I repeated it like a weirdo. Okay. Noah says that he colored the perimeter, and Maya says that he colored the area. Who is right? Take a minute, pause it, Tell me who is right. Okay? Then, when you are finished filling in these, okay, and you have all of this the way it should be, I want you to tear this page out, put your name on it. Name, please. You all have a name. Turn it in to the turn-in tray. Thank you.